Hello guys, this is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some Ninja Assassins gameplay. Score in the background isn't too important because honestly, it's more of a casual game type. You've got the sniper rifle and energy sword primaries, you've got the plasma grenades in your belt, and you've got the fact that assassinations give you double the points as a regular kill. It's not meant to be taken too seriously, but I have been enjoying it tremendously. I think it's a good game type to practice sniping under pressure. I've spoken about it in previous videos. I have real trouble sniping in a contested setting where someone has a power position over me or a power weapon, and obviously the fact that everyone has an energy sword and is frantically running at you from spawn to spawn can get a little bit chaotic, and it's a good place to, practice swift, precise sniping. I think a lot of players have a problem with that, so this definitely might be your best bet improving with the sniper rifle. But honestly, the key strategy that most players invoke in this game type, including myself, is just pulling out the energy sword. Being able to run from spawn to spawn is absolutely ridiculous, and it's obviously got this long lunge rate where you can just get from player to player continuously. I think there's more players than average in the Ninja Assassins playlist. There might be 12 or something like that, so it can get a little bit... it's just mayhem, and I kind of enjoy that. It's something different to play, and it's still got that element of, if you're a really good player, you'll probably destroy people in it. But I had a topic that I wish to discuss with you guys today, and it's regarding the idea of excuses. I'm sure you guys, in competitive matches and just close matches in general, have come across so many excuses, and to me, they just frustrate me quite a bit. You obviously get the usual, oh, there was lag, this guy was host, and his host sucked example. I get that more than most people, because if I pull host, I'm from the United Kingdom, and to be honest, my host kind of does suck. And then you get things like, oh, he got lucky, I'm not playing my best, etc., etc. But I think one of the excuses that gets most under my skin is when people say, oh, he's just played more than me. He has a huge amount of game time. He's devoted more time to me. How could I possibly beat him? And they kind of drone in on that excuse and try to make you out to be somewhat nerdy or somewhat geeky for doing it in a Halo setting. And what I would say is that when it comes to becoming a competitive gamer, I would say 50% of the skill, if not more, is devoting the time to that skill. Is having the patience, the understanding, and the passion, the fire inside of you to want to continue and find new reasons and new motivation to want to improve at the game and to continue playing your best. I think one of the things that makes Ogre 2 as a competitive player so incredible and someone to look up to is the amount of wins he's received. Placing in Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, Shadowrun, 2v2 tournaments. He has had the best placings of pretty much any competitive gamer of all time. And to me, that is just astounding because, winning once is one thing. Winning against these players who are looked up to by so many members of the Halo community as being the paramount of skill, and being able to beat them not just once, not just twice, and not just on one Halo game, on multiple Halo games, on multiple different occasions, and still coming into it with this fire of, I want to be the best, I want to prove to everyone just how good I am. There's been so many players that I've come into contact with that have been improving at such a rapid rate where it feels like they could be the next competitive gamer. They feel like their snipe is so ridiculously strong, they play incredibly smart. But they get to this standstill, they hit this brick wall of, I feel like I'm now autopiloting, I feel like I'm no longer downloading information from the players that I play and gaining insight each and every match. They no longer have this passion to go onto YouTube, to look at gameplays of other players, to 1v1 any player that they can get into contact with and want to be the best. So that when people complain about people, from the perspective of, well, you're probably just good at this game because you played more than me, I think it's pretty much the biggest insult that you can throw at anyone, because in my eyes, that's one of the most respectable skills. The fact that they didn't get on one day and decide to themselves, you know what, this isn't worth it anymore, I'm going to give up, I'm bored. And I know a lot of the time it can come from a perspective of, I don't have the time, I physically, can't devote that amount of time. But honestly, I'd say 8 times out of 10 it comes down to, well, I've lost the motivation. I don't feel like I'm improving anymore, or at least not at as rapid a rate as I was previously. Every single player is going to come to these moments, these make or break points when they stop improving at such a rapid rate. They're not seeing these, you know, huge improvements every single day they get on, because the skill level becomes more focused. It's all about these tiny significant changes which will make a huge overall impact to your gameplay, and you've got to pick them up from both muscle memory and learning and listening to other players, watching other players. It's why live streams are so fantastic, because, you know, you constantly get this fresh perspective and constantly get to, you know, learn and soak up new information. But you have to have the passion there. It's not something that's ever going to fall into your lap. You have to be a dedicated player. You have to be, you know, never autopiloting. And for me personally, that's the skill that I sometimes just most look up to. The fact that here's this player who's been playing for 7 years. He's achieved so much. He's far better than me in every single way. He can make a lot of players who look absolutely amazing, make them look like trash, because he's just that bit better. Yet he continues to keep driving home that point of, I am the best and I will continue to be the best. It's what makes Ogre 2 such a, you know, a character, such a cult of personality of, this guy was in it to win it from day one, and this guy would never let up, even if it changed Halo games, even if there were new meta games. He never really let up. And from that perspective, it just feels like people are a little bit bitter when they start coming at someone for, oh, well, you played so much, that's how you got good. It's like, well, you know, should I feel guilty for having the motivation to want to be good at something, to have the strive to be good, and to have results to show that? You know, if I'm beating you as a player, surely you should have the respect to realize, you know, he went that extra mile, he put in that extra effort, he sat there playing customs a lot longer than me, and he still has the drive to continue improving, to play me and play at a high level. And I think that's something that should drive you yourself to want to get better, taking those losses, even though they can be hard at times, and even though you feel so personally invested in those losses, it's something that just has to fuel you and drive you to become better. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. I have been Modest Major. Peace.